My name is Lilybeth Garcia, and we're here to share a beautiful testimony that Jesus Christ has done in our lives and in my daughter's life. This is my daughter, Miss Rain.
My name's Julie.
Julie is 9 years old. She was experiencing headaches from January through July. And in those moments, it was on and off headaches where it would come and it would go. So I kind of dismissed it as just like maybe she's tired. She also wears glasses, so maybe it was her glasses. And in the summer, in August, we took her to get an MRI for the headaches that she had ongoing. And in that moment, an hour after her procedure, they called us and they said that she had something that it looked like a rare brain disease called moya moya. We went to the ER that same day because that same day at home, she started to experience headaches, numbness of the legs and the arms, and just giving stroke symptoms. In that moment, something in me said, go to the hospital. We went to the hospital. They ran more tests because they couldn't figure out what she had because she had no symptoms besides headaches. They brought us in for more imaging, and that's when they took her to the ICU. We were in the ICU for 4 days before we found out and confirmed that she had a rare brain disease called moya moya that causes strokes, brain bleeds, causes death if the stroke or the brain bleed is too strong. And from there on, we found out that she had to have 2 brain surgeries, one in September and one in October. The reason why it was so urgent was because the brain vessels in the brain were starting to close. And what happens is that when your main arteries in your brain start to close, there's no oxygen going to your brain, to your body, and causes a major stroke. The surgery was to help prevent that. In that moment, it was detrimental to find out that your 9-year-old daughter is going through a rare brain disease. I remember being in the ICU. My daughter was sleeping, and I just kept praying to Jesus to help her, to save her, to not have her have a stroke. That was my main concern, because if you have a stroke, it could really, mess things up with your physical motor skills and everything. And I just remember crying out to Jesus and Lord. And when she went home that first time from the ICU, we would just pray all the time. And she's always been so close to Jesus. And it's one of the things that I love about her is that since she was a little girl, she was like 4 years old, and she was on like YouTube hearing like Bible stories and listening to Jesus worship music. And, her faith has always been strong. And she still does it, yes. And I want to say that she's brought us closer to Jesus. I will always say that, like, her faith has always been, it's shaped our family. Whenever she had her first brain surgery, it was a 7-hour surgery. She was in the OR for 7 hours. I remember going into that surgery the day before, because you go in the day before, and it feels weird to say, but I didn't feel scared. I didn't feel sad. When they wheeled her out, I didn't feel like anxiety. I trusted that Jesus was going to take care of her, how he has and has always been, because the type of brain disease that she has is rare, and kids usually get strokes. About 90% of kids that got diagnosed with moya moya don't get diagnosed with headaches. They get diagnosed with strokes or brain bleed. So the fact that we were able to find out just with headaches is a miracle in itself. When she woke up from her first surgery after 7 hours of being in the OR, they took her to the ICU. She was still very much under anesthesia and, under a lot of pain meds. She was very out of it. And I remember her waking up and saying, I seen Jesus, and she explained it very clearly. My mom was able to actually capture that moment that she said that she seen Jesus in heaven, and that Jesus hugged her, and was always there for her, and that she had big plans in her life. Uh, and that was just unbelievable for me. The second surgery, which was 4 weeks after the first brain surgery, she got cut here, like in her here and here. It was two big cuts. We went in for the second surgery. She got out of the second surgery, and she walked the second day. Everybody was just so amazed on her progress and the way she was able to get up, and she was just so positive and just was a strong little girl. And again, I just thank Jesus so much for this miracle, because everyone in that hospital was shocked that, one, we found out with headaches, which is very uncommon. Two, the fact that she was able to get up after a 7-hour brain surgery with no type of deficits.
Like no wheelchair, no walker.
No wheelchair, no walker. And the fact that she's able to just, like I said, walk around, you wouldn't even know that she's gone through this. So that's a miracle. Like I said, in itself, and the gratitude that we have for Jesus is unbelievable. We never stopped praying. We never stopped believing, and knew that he would be there for her. And she's a walking testimony. So I just want to encourage anyone that's going through something, don't lose your faith, even though you don't understand it. We sit there and add and eat, breathe. You understand why things are happening to you. Just press God. Trust Jesus, because he's never late. You want to share your story?
So when I first having the headaches, mommy took me to actually my eye doctor, and he said, "Oh, I don't see anything in her eyes or something or stuff like that." So he told us to go to Bluefish Pediatric, and they said I had to get an MRI. And that same day, I had headaches, but they weren't like their usual little headache. It was a bigger headache, and I couldn't feel my legs or my arms, both of them. And when I just heard loud noises, it would just make me emotional. So that same day, we were already in the car, and then Bluefish Pediatric called mommy, and they said, "Oh, we found something. You might have to come to the hospital." And we were already in the car. So when we found out, the doctor said at the hospital, they said, "Oh, you came just right in time. We didn't see anything. We're glad you came this time and not let it go much longer, because a lot of kids have strokes before they come to the hospital."
And that's what it looked like she was having, because her arms were numb and her legs, and she couldn't even walk. She had to crawl up the stairs on her house. So she was having those stroke symptoms already.
And then, like my mom said, when I woke up from the first surgery, I saw Jesus in my dream. And when I woke up, I was still drowsy. And then I told mommy and daddy that I saw Jesus in my dream. He hugged me. He told me I'm gonna do big things in my life. And then the first surgery, when I went to the gift shop, I had to go in a wheelchair. The second surgery, I didn't have to go in a wheelchair. So it's actually it's a big miracle. From the first one, which was in the wheelchair, the second one was not. So it's actually a big miracle. A lot of kids think if you just look up and you don't see it, if you don't see them, they're not real, but they're actually real. They're in your heart.
Jesus.
Yes, Jesus and God. And we don't celebrate Christmas for Christmas, like getting the gifts or going to like different cities. It's because when it was Christmas, that was when baby Jesus was born. And ever since that, he's been with us. The people that killed him thought he was dead, but 3 days after, he came back.
Amen. He did. He's real. How do you feel that Jesus has impacted you in your life, right, with all of this?
I wasn't nervous or anything like that. Like, I was just pushing through it. I wasn't even like, oh, I don't want to do this. Like, Daddy, I just pushed through it.
Yeah, she is very strong, because when she was getting all these surgeries, and they were poking her and they were taking blood, and she was just strong throughout the whole thing. I like her wisdom and faith really outshine through this very dark moment. We're just so grateful. We really want to thank our church family here at Viva City for being with us through this time, and helping us with our faith, because it was of course, during these times there was days I lost faith, there was days I always believed. And anyways, we were in church, and our church prayed for us, and my daughter came up on stage, and we had this powerful prayer with our church. And we prayed over they prayed over my daughter's head, body, and everything. And that prayer in itself was such a powerful prayer, and everyone at church prayed for us, just kept on praying. Everyone was praying for us. And I do believe that was part of our miracle. It wasn't something that we did alone, or it was a chain of prayers that really helped my daughter overcome this rare brain disease, because that's what it is. It's called a rare brain disease that not a lot of kids have. So our prayers in our church were a big part of this. I really just want to encourage everyone that is watching this, that might be going through something that's hard in their life, whether it be grief, sick children, a sick family member, and any time of need. Don't stop praying, and don't stop believing in the word of Jesus Christ. He has said, and he has always said, he will always be there for us. Don't stop calling on Jesus. And that's one encouragement I ask of you. Even if you feel like there is no way, there is a way. So don't stop praying, don't stop believing. And also ask people to pray for you, because those prayers make a big difference.